Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good golly, Miss Molly. Welcome to that 70s rock fan channel. Another impromptu stream with zero concurrent viewers so far. But who knows as the afternoon continues. I thought I'd go live for about an hour just to have some general chit chat. Also, show off some of my latest physical media finds, some thrift store, some full price. Terrible. I have to buy the occasional one at full price. Nightmare. Also, I received today a gift, an unexpected gift from supporter of the channel, Sean Estep. A bunch of wonderful stuff. So, wanted to really show that off, as it were. So, and we'll see if anybody joins in to watch. Might chat about a few other things. Who knows? So, yeah. So, as I say, got a bunch of stuff from thrift stores, etc. I'm always having a good look through those. This is. Let's run down some of that stuff. So, I've got this for free. Now, I already had this legendary album, digital copy. Johnny Cash at Folsom Prison. So the legendary gig that he did there, much to the delight of the inmates. I think this is back in 1968. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe lots of artists had played in prisons in front of prisoners before. I expect they had, but this is a particularly well-known session at Folsom Prison, fairly notorious prison. But some great material and great atmosphere on this one. June Carter is also on here, of course, as they were married at the time, I think. So you've got tracks like Jackson that they sang together in Folsom Prison Blues, obviously. So got that for free. Why not, indeed? Obviously, yesterday we had a show on this great movie, Dark Star. John Carpenter, Dan O'Bannon. Had a fun show. Panel and chat were great. I just love doing these shows about these great old movies. Great old. I mean, it's from the 1970s, and yet I guess to some people that's extremely old. And if you think about it, 74, 50 years ago, back in 74 when I was a teenager, 50 years before that would have been the 1920s. I would have been, well, I am not interested in that stuff. It's funny how that perception changes as you get older. However, great movie. Done on an incredibly low budget, but extremely inventive, clever, funny, some fantastic stuff. So, full price purchase. One of the few in this week's collection of stuff. Also, a full price purchase is this wonderful steelbook version of a movie that I backed last year on GoFundMe or wherever it was, Kickstarter, The Last Kumite, or Kumite as Gary loves me to say, because he gets a good laugh out of it. Gary from Pop Culture Minefield, of course. Last Kumite. I did back the movie, but the level I backed it at didn't include a physical copy. So I went out and bought one myself. So this is a movie by a gentleman called Sean Davies. And it's a tribute, a homage, if you will, to 1980s martial arts movies. So Sean David, who I had on one of my shows talking about the movie as a guest. Wonderful show. Really loves that era, as many of us do, of martial arts movies. So he got together a cast, including people like Cynthia Rothrock, Billy Blanks, um, Mohammed Kisi, also Kurt McKinney, Matthias Landwehr, Matthias Hughes. It's a fantastic cast. I cannot wait to stick this on and watch it in high definition. A nice little tin. So it was good to support an independent movie. I try and support a few of these things, cash permitting, comics, books, and the occasional movie like this one. So, but yeah, some great stuff on there. But also in the martial arts side of things, I got a VHS. I buy the occasional VHS if it looks interesting or collectible in some way, because there's quite a few of them kicking around that you can pick up for $0 or just a few cents. This is Kung Fu the movie. So a television movie following the Kung Fu TV series with David Carradine, which I watched avidly as a kid. And I think this was filmed quite a few years after, it does say in the back, decade after the TV series ended. But David Carradine, and the very first movie role for Brandon Lee, who obviously, before his tragic death on the set of The Crow, did things like Showdown in Little Tokyo. Looked like he was going to have a fantastic career. And then obviously tragically died in that accident on filming The Crow. Looking forward to this because I'm going to watch it because I have a VHS player. I haven't seen this. I don't recall seeing it at the time. At the time would mean back in the 1980s. So figured I'd pick that one up. If there's anybody out there in the chat, anybody out there listening to the show on Rumble or YouTube or Twitter, say hi. Now, thrift store purchase I found was season 1 special edition 4-disc set of The Muppet Show. And the box that it's in is actually in extremely good condition, which is always nice. Taking it out of the box. Now, it is missing the insert booklet that would have been sitting in that sleeve area there. Otherwise, though, great condition. I always check if the discs are there and that they're not damaged. All 4 discs nicely in position. And that's what the back looks like. So season 1 of The Muppet Show, which I do remember watching at the time. It was a lot of fun. I'll have to reacquaint myself with which items, which guests, etc., were in season 1. Doesn't say anything on the back, but there's some little extra bits and pieces on here, so well worth picking up for. Someone's hitting the likes buttons. Well worth picking up for, I don't know what I got that for, a couple of bucks. If only I get some other seasons. Okay, also in the thrift store, I was very happy to see this season 1 to 5 collection of Letterkenny, great Canadian comedy. And recently we did a Shoresy show, which is a spin-off of Letterkenny. That was a lot of fun. Shoresy actually appears in Letterkenny. So, but you never see his face in it. So, because the same actor's playing the lead in Letterkenny. So he was playing 2 parts in the show, but Letterkenny, it's set in a rural southern or rural Ontario town. I don't think you could find a show with so many insults in it. You'd have to look very hard anyway, because it's practically a never-ending series of insults and gags. If you've never seen Letterkenny, funny stuff. Not at all the polite, we're sorry Canadian image. It's quite robust, let's put it that way. So great. 5 seasons in one DVD set. Excellent. For the princely sum of a couple of bucks as well. Not that there's anything unusual about these, but 2 Van Damme movies on one disc, The Order and Nowhere to Run. Thought, yeah, you know what? Why not? Got them digitally. Let's have them physically too. A double feature. Now, this is an interesting one. I've never actually seen any of these movies, and apparently there are 6 of them called The Marine. Mike the Mezzanine, not mezzanine, that would be just between the ground floor and the first floor. Mezzanine, probably not saying that right at all. The Marine 3, Homefront. Apparently there are 6 Marine movies. And I don't know why. I hadn't really heard of them, not that I could think of. So this was free. So I thought, well, I'll take a chance on a free movie and I will watch this. And if I like it, I'm going to look for the other ones. And it's funny that I picked this up and I saw somebody a few days later on X posting about the Marine movies, and I'd never seen them before. A weird coincidence. I just picked one of them up for free. So very strange how that works. You see that quite a lot, actually, that kind of thing. So I think I'm supposed to be going out live on X here as well. You know what? I'm just going to check and see. At home, what's happening on my feed? I don't know if I can see that actually working. Oh, supposed to be going out on X. Maybe that's not working right. I'll have to fix it. This was a good one. I'll take that little sticker off again for a couple of bucks. DVD set of season 1 of Metal. You see, I can never say this. Metalocalypse. Metalocalypse. There you go. For some reason, I can never say the title of this show properly. I have this weird mental block about it. So, obviously, following the Death Clock band animated show, which I have seen, but I don't even have a digital copy of it. So it was really neat to pick up season 1, 2-disc set, 20 episodes of this fine metal themed show. And I cannot wait to sit and watch all of these episodes. So reasonably good shape, clearly used, but in pretty good shape. So for a couple of bucks, yeah, why not? Some great music. Will I be able to get it back in the box? Is the next question. Is the next thing, of course. Well, not on camera. I'll do it later. Jeez, can't even get it back in the box. I don't know. Did I have this already? Got various Transformer discs back there. But this is Transformers Le Film. I picked it up. I've got multiple copies of various Transformers movies, including this one. I didn't have anything that had this sleeve on it, so I do like the sleeve. So and it was in beautiful condition. So I figured, why not? And it's actually a really nice box. I really do like that image. Really nice. So Transformers, the movie. I actually think it's a really nice package. I mean, it's a bare bones in many ways. There's no inserts or anything, at least not with this copy. But still a very neat package for what is still quite an enjoyable movie. The first Michael Bay one. So I'll take the little price sticker off it, I guess. We'll do that later. So anyway, yeah, Transformers the film. Now, a curiosity in the Python world. I mean, I talk about it a lot. I talk about Monty Python and the Holy Grail and Life of Brian, Meaning of Life, and Time Bandits, and various of these other movies that are either Python or Python associated. One that I always tend to overlook and forget about is Terry Gilliam's Jabberwocky. So I was very pleased to pick up for a buck a copy of this on DVD, Medieval Misadventure, from the co-director of Monty Python and the Holy Grail, because Terry Jones co-directed that. This is Terry Gilliam, who obviously then went on to have quite an interesting career as a director himself. Stars his friend from the Python world, Michael Palin, and also has got some great British comedic actors on it. Harry H. Corbett, who was in Steptoe and Son, John Le Mesurier from Dad's Army, Warren Mitchell, Till Death Us Do Part, and then Max Wall. So a lot of well-established old school British comedians, but Michael Palin from what would be considered a more of a later era of comedy, starring in The Kingdom of Bruno. I love the description. Gadzooks. These be terrible times in the kingdom of Bruno the Questionable. At the darkest hour of the Dark Ages, brackets, hey, who turned off the lights? The dreaded Jabberwock roams the land, his eyes aflame, his talons bared, a bone-crushing horror. Which brave knight shall slay the beast and save the kingdom? Who shall win the hand of the fair princess? Could it be Dennis the apprentice? Michael Palin, a mere dolt and silly fool who carries a potato and loves the fat Griselda. Shall he save the kingdom, or will he be smitten with chamber pots and made to eat rats on a stick? Arg. Arg. I do like a good arg. Hey, Tree Goblin, good to see you. Yes, a documentary on English life, Jabberwocky. So, I was actually quite pleased to pick up a little physical copy of that. The Python-related movie that is probably most overlooked, I would think, even by myself, The Python Fanatic. I'm looking forward to sitting down and watching that again. I haven't seen it for years. Hey, Lord Thoth, do I have to start going through everything I just showed again now that people have turned up? Because I've shown off a lot of stuff already. But we shall continue. Gadzooks, as they say. So, a fun movie. I found it fun anyway. I think a lot of people enjoyed it. A few years ago, these damn stickers they put on these. Jeez. You know the worst are when you buy physical media that's got a Walmart sticker on it. Walmart, $10 or wherever it'll say. Those are made with some kind of glue that is almost impossible to take the sticker off with. So you end up having to use a gallon of Goo Gone. Nice to see you, Tree Goblin and Lord Thoth. When I do these impromptu type streams, I never know if anyone's going to turn up or nobody. Because I don't really advertise them. I just say, screw it, put the camera on. So I used to make videos about the physical media. Now I think it's nice just to go live. Piranha, anyway. Something about the cover attracted me to this for a couple of bucks. It's Jaws gone wild. It is a fun movie. I do like this. Think Jersey Shore with underwater cannibalism. And I do remember it being a super fun movie, also containing lots of girls in bikinis. I mean, who can argue with that? Actually, before we go any further, I do have to open this out. So there's a little Velcro here. Chew on this. Look at this. Isn't that neat? It's really, really good. I was actually, I didn't realize that until I got home and I was looking at them. I went, oh, this doesn't close right. Oh, it's got some Velcro in it. Ta-da! Ghost Shark. Oh, I will then. I'll check that out. So yeah, Piranha. Not a bad little movie. Almost as good as Sharknado. Yes, and of course does star the great Ving Rhames and various other people. Christopher Lloyd's in it. I forgot that. And Richard Dreyfuss. Richard Dreyfuss. I forgot he was in that. What a joke on a spoof of Jaws. Yeah. Anyway, Piranha. But to get that, just it was a couple of bucks. Well worth it. I do have, again, I got digital copy of this, The Untouchables. I always like to pick up on physical these special editions, starring the great Sean Connery. Sean's playing an Irishman with his patented Scottish accent. He never changed the accent, doesn't matter. And he should have brought a gun to a knife fight. What do you, if the other guy brings a gun, would you bring a rocket launcher? I don't know. So nice little gold covered thing. Great movie. Brian De Palma. Fantastic movie. Pretty bare bones inside, but a couple of bucks for it's just a DVD, but always watchable. Now this is an interesting one. This is the last of the thrift store ones. Don't really buy a lot of Walt Disney, but this caught my eye, and this was a couple of bucks. They were looking for this. This is called Walt. This is from I'm assuming there's other Walt Disney Treasures. The Adventures of Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. It's in a nice gold tin. I mean, Oswald, I think, was a forerunner of Mickey Mouse for Walt Disney. And I always thought he was a mouse, but it's entitled Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. So I must just have been a misconception on my part that he was a mouse. So lid comes off. It's really nice. As I say, a couple of bucks for this. So inside, it's really quite a neat package. If I can get it out of the tin. So I'll take it out of the tin. In the bottom of the tin, there is. I'm also going to put my glasses on. Should just leave them on. There's a little card, as you would get, of course, in any. The Adventures of Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. Describing what's in the package. Nice little card, which is obviously on the back of the box. So inside the tin, there's this package with the disc. So I opened it expecting just to see the disc, and inside there's a lot more than that. First of all, still in its plastic wrapping, there's a badge. which is pretty neat. There's also a nice booklet, Walt Disney Treasures. So, on the back it has a couple of others that they're mentioning. One's Donald Duck, another one's about the parks. So, booklet talking about Walt Disney and the development of 1928. So, booklet telling a little bit about the history of Oswald. Apparently, Walt Disney lost the rights, which made him go on to make Mickey Mouse. A little bit of artwork there. So there's a booklet. Disney movie rewards. I should enter the magic code in there and see what happens. You'll get a free copy of The Acolyte or something. There's a little bit of the art. First of all, a certificate of authenticity, because there was only 120,000 of these released only. They're not rare, particularly. I have number 116,503. Apparently. And then the little art card. Oswald was the first Disney character licensed to merchandisers. The floppy-eared rabbit appeared on candy bars, a stencil set, and a pinback button. These images are a sampling of the only existing pencil drawings of Sagebrush Sadie, one of the missing Oswald cartoons. Sagebrush Sadie was first released April 2nd, 1928. That is actually really neat, I think. Yeah, Steamboat Willie. Hey, Dave Bob. Nice to see you, mate. So, I was actually really pleased with this set. Well, actually, there's the discs as well, of course. So, I'm going to check the content out. Collection of Disney's Oswald shorts with new scores. I wonder what year this was released. 2007. Really nice set. And it was just a couple of bucks. So, quite pleased with that, to be honest. Yeah, nice to see you, Dave Bob. Thank you for joining this impromptu stream. I don't know who. I'm probably competing against some real heavyweights as usual, but there's 4 of you here, and I'm very pleased to see you all. I should check if my yes, the Rumble stream is running. I don't know what's happened to my Twitter streams though. Okay, today I received a surprise package of gifts from the supporter of the channel and many channels, the great Sean Estep. He sent me some stuff, and he only sent me some stuff a couple of weeks ago as well. So he's really treated me nicely. First of all, this needs no explanation. You'll die. Woolly, and it's a Velcro patch, so I'm going to have to figure out what to pin this side to so I can put the patch on and just rip it off like you would your kilt. Sean also sent, he's overnight with the gifts he sends me, he's like quadrupled my collection of figures, because it's not something I normally collected. This one's from the Hammond collection of Jurassic Park. It's a Dr. Ian Malcolm. Complete with flare gun. Well, not a gun, complete with handheld flare. So that's pretty neat. I like that. Also, you see, I'd love to take these out of the packet, but then they'd ruin it. This is the problem with collectible figures. This is a Danger Mouse. But it was complete with a working zip line. I'd love to try it out, but I'm loath to open the. I don't want to open the packaging. This is why I guess people who collect a lot of figures buy two, one they can open and play with, and one to collect. And I'm going to keep it in the packet. I think, much as I'm tempted to check out the zip line, get the others you can collect as well. Nice. Sean's a good lad. He sent me some indie and Raiders stuff last time, but he's now sent me another Raiders of the Lost Ark figure. This one is a baddie, Major Arnold Tot. If it was Thought, I could pronounce it easier. Build an artifact. So this is a nice one. This is an unusual one. Box is really nice. There's the back. That is really neat. So includes figure. There's a pistol. There's a hand. There's a skeleton head. Oh, tempted to open it. Very tempted. It's been opened before, obviously, so I guess I'm not violating it too much. Gotta get the sellotape off first. There we go. I'm going to open this one. I haven't. It's not like it's in a plastic casing. Let's have a look. Let's have a wee look. Oh, everything's done. So here's the figure. The actual paper, I'm not going to take it out of this. Oh, it has been opened. The actual paper has got like a map on it, which is a really neat touch, I think. Look at this. I know why people get into figures and collecting them. I never really did it, but this is phenomenal. Isn't that beautiful? Fully articulated. Well, his legs are a bit stiff. There's something else in here. Oh, of course. Now we're talking. Isn't that nice? Thank you, Sean, for sending this to me. The accessories are, I don't have the heart to take them out right now. They're in here. Let's get them back in before I damage them. So there you go. That's what I would consider taking out of the box and putting on one of my shelves, I think. Oops. Okay, well, that wasn't all. And there's more. It's a nice one, this Lord Thoth, isn't it? This is a nice, nice set. There was a couple of other things that Sean sent. First of all, it's a book. He knows I'm heavily into the Beatles. This is a book. A book. Do you all like books out there? This is a book I'd actually never read before. Or in fact, I don't think I'd even heard of it. It's called Like Some Forgotten Dream. What if the Beatles hadn't split up, by Daniel Rachel or Rachel, I guess. Rachel. And it's a speculative piece looking at towards the end of the Beatles' career. So White Album, Abbey Road, Let It Be. And imagining if their early solo stuff that they all did, and imagining if they hadn't actually split but had taken some of the best bits of those and made another album. And if you think about McCartney's first album, you could have had every night and Maybe I'm Amazed. You could have had a couple of John Lennon tracks like Instant Karma. You could have had George's My Sweet Lord, Ringo, Back Off Boogaloo. You could have had a collection of songs that were around that 1970 period, put them together. So I guess that's what the book is about. And I've always thought they really messed up the Beatles, I think, by actually splitting. Instead of just saying, we're going on a hiatus, we're going to have a break, we're going to do our own things. Again, the personal differences had got so much that wasn't going to happen. But if that had happened, they could have maybe got back together again sometime and did some stuff. As it turned out, they were going to get back together to do anthology. John had signed off on it. It was going to happen, and then of course he got murdered. So that was the end of that. But I love it. It's an interesting what if, you know. But Sean also sent me this. That is yes, Anilinus. Am I saying that right? I haven't got my glasses on. Is that a mini Marshall guitar amp on the shelf? Because I found it at a thrift store and bought it. Yes, it is. Let me just highlight that chat. It is, and it actually works. I do have a Vox over there for my fiddling about on guitars, but I actually use that sometimes. It's pretty neat. Sounds really good. You know, use it as a little practice amp. You can busk with it. I'm glad you got one. Blame Yoko. Well, of course we can. If all else fails, blame Yoko for everything. I mean, if we remember back to the pandemic era, Neil Young and others threatened to remove their music from Spotify if certain things didn't happen. I believe that Yoko threatened to put her music on Spotify if things didn't happen. So thankfully it never got to that stage. Funnily enough, I have one Yoko Ono record, which is a 7-inch single, Walking on Thin Ice, which she released after John's death. It's actually not a bad record. Anyway, the last thing in Sean Estep's wonderful set of gifts to me was a sealed copy of the Beatles Get Back book from the Apple TV Peter Jackson show of the same name. So quite a hefty tome that will fit in very well with my big collection of other Beatles stuff. I will open it from the plastic though, because it's full of great images, I'm sure. So thank you to Sean for sending those through. He's a gentleman and a scholar. We're going to have another attempt to put the Metalocalypse back in the case. I know what I was doing wrong. I didn't fold the thing up properly. In it goes. So Sean sent me all that great stuff. Definitely, I think our Major Arnold Tot. Is it Tot? I can't remember how you pronounce that. T-O-H-T. I'll just say Thought. That one I think I may remove and actually put on the shelf as a figure whilst displaying the box elsewhere. I actually need a lot more display stuff because this basement is not quite. The studio area is finished. The rest of the basement's finished, but I don't have the shelving up that I need. So, but yeah, Danger Mouse from Sean. A nice little patch. Grounds Keeper Willie. Oh, it's what God gave me. I'm sure I'm missing something. Oh yeah, the Ian Malcolm. Thank you, Sean. So that was it for the physical media today. I know not everybody necessarily saw everything, but because some of you joined the stream later. Hell, we've been going for half an hour nearly. That's incredible. But I think I'm going to watch this in the next few days, I think. Now, made for TV movie, so you're only going to get a limited amount of action, but it's just to see the young Brandon Lee in his first movie role, albeit a TV movie. Definitely going to watch that, I think. David Carradine. I loved Kung Fu as a show when it was out, but there was a bit of a craze for that stuff in the early mid 70s. And I remember there was 2 Japanese shows that I used to love, and I think you can still watch them. You can watch them on YouTube, I think. There was The Water Margin and The Monkey. The Monkey's Journey to the West, of course, but Water Margin is also one of these foundational Chinese stories. Because China at the time was still in the grip of Mao, they weren't making stuff like that, but the Japanese studios were producing these Chinese stories, albeit with Japanese actors mainly, or a lot of Hong Kong actors. Those were wonderful. I think they were out mid to late 70s as well. I loved those shows. Like Monkey's just hilarious, if you've ever seen it. And I love the whole Journey to the West thing. There's a lot of great movies and animations and TV shows based on that. So Kane forgot his safe word. Yeah. So yeah, and I'm looking forward to watching this, as I did support the movie and helped get it made. Last Kumite. Always like a bit of Cynthia Rothrock and Kurt McKinney and Mohammed Michel Kissi. Asses will be kicked. Well, that's about it. What are you guys up to? I should have just preamble one, sort of just spoken at length about nothing at the beginning, and then showing the stuff off. Because I showed half of the stuff off when nobody was here. At least I don't think there was anybody here. It's Dave Bob's favourite album, isn't it, Dave? Johnny Cash at Folsom Prison. Yeah, Dark Star ahead. I got the Muppet Show, season 1 set. All these are either free or $1 or $2. Letterkenny. It's one of your favourites. I'm sure it is. To Jean-Claude Van Damme. That Muscles from Brussels delivers a 2-punch. A 1-2 punch. I don't know if anybody was here when I was talking about this earlier that's in the chat. 70s Rock, me too, buddy, me too. The name is what gives it away. 70s Rock fan. I don't know if anyone was watching when I talked about this. The Marine 3. Has anyone seen the Marine movies? Any of them? Because I'm not sure I have. And I got that nice Transformers set. And I think obviously I showed Jabberwocky and Piranha. Still can't get over this. That's worth having. Even if you never mind watch the movie, just take it out of the shelf. Anyway, yeah, that was kind of it for today. I thought rather than doing a video showing that stuff off, I'll just do a quick live stream. If you haven't or you didn't watch yesterday's Dark Star show, that was a lot of fun. Great movie. I think we did really well talking about that. Yeah, going thrifting is, since I've been on this mission to increase my physical media collection back to previous levels after years of attrition, thrifting is a big part of that for me. I pick up tons of great stuff. A lot of it's still at DVD level, not so much Blu-rays. And I know some people would turn up their noses at that, but if it's the right set, I don't care. It still looks good enough for me. You bought an Iowa cassette player last time and realised you don't have any cassettes left. You have to go back and find some. Well, you'll get a ton in thrift stores. I still have about half a dozen of my. I used to have, at one point, I probably had about 600 or 700 cassettes alone. I'm down to about half a dozen now. I kind of bitterly regret getting rid of some of them because they're probably quite rare, some of the 70s stuff I had. I'm down to half a dozen that I kept for sentimental reasons. But I was thinking of picking up a cassette player as well because there's so many of them kicking around. And so I got a VHS player for $5 to play some of the old VHS I've got. And I buy some unusual things I'll see on VHS. I'll buy like Canon movies, stuff like that that's from back in the 70s and 80s. So, anyway, I would like to thank you all for being here. For a Tuesday afternoon when there's probably tons of other stuff to do, you guys dropped by, kept me company, and I appreciate it very much. I appreciate all the support for the channel. We're thinking of making a change. Talked about it a little bit yesterday, I think. Anyone that's a regular like Lord Thoth would be Dave, Bob, and guys. My regular show, live show, is always has been since I started it. Since I started it, not trying not to be slur my words. Since I started it, has been Monday afternoons, 3 p.m. Mountain Time. I am thinking of switching that to Wednesday evenings, 7 p.m. Mountain Time. So, for a number of domestic scheduling reasons, plus some of my panel are finding it difficult to make it on a Monday afternoon. So, Wednesday nights, I think I'll go ahead with that. I think that's going to happen for sure. So, that would mean not tomorrow, but the 30th would be the first Wednesday, subject matter to be determined. So, look out for that information on the community page. I will be on Toxic Tuesday tonight with Nick, 32 Flavors of Nick Pfizer's channel. I think we're talking about Nightmare on Elm Street tonight. Being that it's October, it's all horror-related movies. Nothing tomorrow planned. Thursday night throwdown on Comics Division. Friday night will be in Ascendant Art. But Saturday night, Bram and I do Bourbon and Boarding, Go Stars, where we chat about hockey. 9:15 p.m. Mountain Time. So it's a bit late, but hey, that's the time we do it. And then, yeah, I'll be popping up here and there. I've got a couple of videos I'm working on. Slow process, of course. So until next time, everybody, thank you for being here. Thank you for your chats, everybody. Have a great rest of your day and a great rest of your week. Until next time, keep on rocking.